we start with opening a scene. What I prefer to do when creating a 3D text logo is to get a reference. So for me, my brand's going to be Brasserio. So I create this. I like to put it on middle. This makes more sense for me. And the font I want to use is called Bang Bang, something I just prefer. And I put it on bold. So this is the first step. I know for my logo I want to have a outline also. So I make a copy and I pick the outline. Well, this looks really shitty at the moment. This is something we'll fix later. So the first one I call ref from reference bold. The other one I call outline. This is my starting point, and going to my front view, I can somewhat position them right, but in the end it's gonna take some handwork for this 3D logo. As you can see, this is not a good fit at the moment. I'll fix that later. So this is my starting point. I have 9 letters, so I know I want to take 9 copies. So I'm just dragging with Control. You can also just use Control C, Control V, make the copies. So this is Alt G to make a group. This ref, call this B, and so on. So for all these groups, all these letters, I make a group. Just easier to control down the line. I double press to create, change the name. R, am I right? So that's R.1 because it's the second one. So this is going to be I, and then the O as the last one. Oh, then the O as the last one, like this. Okay, and by holding down Alt and clicking these, I can disable these for now. I want to see this one, the reference, and I change this to a capital B, and I'll do this for all the letters. The reason why I have the reference is now I can position them somewhat correctly, like this. So you can just eyeball this. So for now I put it here. Perfect. I disable the reference. Now I can place the outline where it makes a bit more sense. I think this is it. Let's see how it looks in 3D. Perfect. And the idea is that inside is going to be white and the outline is going to be black for me. I do this for all the letters. So I can enable this, open them up, do a R. I'll first do that for all the letters. A, S, S, E. Get some more space. R, I, and O. Perfect. And now I can start positioning them like so. I'll start off with these. I prefer just to select them, not group. So the group stays in its place. Roughly put them on the right spot. And later on I'm just gonna tweak them without reference. As you can see now, it can get a little bit messy with all the outlines going on. I'll just start positioning them like so. E, a second S. Perfect. So I know they're somewhat correct, but as you can see, the outlines are not. So I can tweak this now. Start with the R, zoom in a bit, and get it to a point where I feel eyeballing it is most of the times enough. Let's do it with the S, like so. This one like so. The E, I'll put it here. The R, I'll put it over here. I think this is okay. And now the O. Yeah, I think this works. Let's check. Okay, perfect. This looks good. And then the next step, I think it's easier to get some materials in here. So what I'm gonna use is Redshift. So I'll just create a basic Redshift material and I'll make a copy of it, like so. Call one white matte, from not being shiny, so matte, and black matte. So white matte, get this up and running. No reflection, color is gonna be just white. And then the black, it's gonna be black like so, no reflection. Then I'll make the bolts so white. As you can see, I'm copying with holding down Control, like so. And then the black. Like so. Perfect. I made a reference. This one. I don't need it anymore. I can just hide it. Put it down the line. Now, as you can see, we have some glitches. So I want to put my letters more in a 3D space. So the easiest way to do that, just by pushing them out a little bit. Like so. Just for that it isn't glitching anymore. And in the end, I'm gonna render it flat, so you won't see this dimension. You just also won't see the glitching, which is important. Like so. So I have my logo ready, I have the materials, and now if I just put my rendering on Redshift, basic settings, and get my renderer going, and render view, like so. You can see that it somewhat works. I want to get a background in, so I go to Redshift Materials. I use a dome light for that. As you can see, the white's not white, it's gray. So a little trick I like to use is going to my white material, and this works for this. So I give it an emission of white, put it on 1, put it on 2, perfect. I will render it without background, so with this disabled. Yeah, the look is good, I like it. So we can save it, make sure we have a correct resolution. I like to use HD for this example. Yep. Current frame, because we do still. I think we can for now just put it on PNG, make sure it has an alpha channel, make sure it has a save location. So for saving I like to use tokens, so it's more an automatic way of saving files, and this is especially handy when you make a lot of renders or a lot of files over time, so you don't have to type in everything all the time. So what it does, it looks up 2 folders, creates a folder called renders. Then it creates a folder called project, which is the name, and then a folder called project with the time and date, so it's always unique. And then it saves the file also with that same naming. So I have it like this, and now if I render it to picture viewer, you should see this. So this is with the background. As you can see, I rendered a alpha like so, and I can use that, or you can just render it without the dome lights, because we're using black and white at the moment, so it already shines light. And then you can open it up in Photoshop, and you should have a perfect file. That's it, creating a 3D logo in Cinema 4D.